Okay, quick poll for all you guys and girls out there. How many of you have seen a spreadsheet that looks like this, and who knows, maybe your boss made it, maybe somebody else at work made it, but it's your job to look at this and figure out what the heck it means. And maybe you can. Maybe this means something to you, all these crazy colors and all this madness. But guess what? To me, it doesn't mean anything. And I suspect that to 95% of people out there, it also doesn't mean anything. So what have we got going on here? Who knows? It's a big mess, but there are a lot of spreadsheets out there being made by people who are trying to just throw as much information out there as you can and think, oh, maybe there's something here to look at. So you want to learn some more advanced conditional formatting techniques to make your spreadsheets not look like this, then stick around because I'm going to teach you about 5 or 6 little techniques that will take you away from this zone and get us building some things that really you can be creative and highlight all kinds of interesting information. So let's get into it. Now, the first one is this. All I've got is a little checkbox. And when I click there to show the table, up, everything appears. So if you want to know how to do that, let's have a look. But you know what, before I show you, first of all, I'm going to remind you that you can get this sheet and all the kind of questions that kind of come with it. It's going to be in the comments. So feel free to take the sheet, copy it, try and answer the questions yourself if you can. And then once you've had a go, come back and you can see how I would tackle it. Because that's the best way to learn this stuff. Give it a go yourself, have a think about it, see if you can figure it out. Okay, let's crack on. So first interesting little thing here is this table, okay, that I can make appear and disappear as I want. And it's all done with conditional formatting. And this is super handy if you want to make your spreadsheets a lot tidier. You can have, for example, some kind of control panel, something like that, and chuck it away up here hidden, so only the people who need to see it can get access to it. So how have I done it? Basically, I've just gone, selected this whole range where all this stuff is, and I've set it so that it's going to be completely clear and with white background and white text. If what's going on in I1, which is this cell here, with the text box, with the checkbox, is false. So when it's false, everything is white and white. And when it's true, everything is as I've left it. Everything is as it's formatted. So that's one super handy, super useful thing that you can do. And being able to hide all the nonsense and hide all the behind the scenes stuff from the people who don't need to know, you'll be a superstar. Because guess what? Most people are not like you and me, that we like to look at all this stuff and know what's going on. Most people just want to see what's useful to them, and the rest of the stuff they don't care about. So do them a favor and hide it from them. Okay, so let's now have a look and see what we're playing with here. So basically we've got a table of data with a whole bunch of dynos or information. Probably this will also come in very handy for you at your work, so feel free to use it. Here we go, we've got species of dinosaur, some kind of type. I guess this is the family of the dinosaur, but the height of the dinosaur, attack power, the average number of friends each dinosaur has, and the gestation period in months. So all very important, relevant information to your business needs. So what kind of stuff can we do in here? Now, of course, most people are pretty familiar with the basic conditional formatting tools that we can use. We go into here and we can do all kinds of stuff like when the cell is empty, you can make it red. Oh, and then straight away we can see where things are empty. Oh, that's only applied to 58, so we can apply that to the whole data range here. A1 to F. And now, okay, when everything's empty, we can see these. So that's pretty useful, right? Or we can make them when it's greater than 100, something like that, and change it all here. That's all pretty simple stuff. A lot of these ones are built in straight in Google Sheets and not much you need to worry about. But what if we want to do some things that are a little bit more tricky, like what we've got here in our list? So let's take a look. Okay, so the first one we've got here, we're going to highlight the whole row where the attack power is over 200. Now, most people are going to attack that like this. Taking the column is over 200, conditional formatting, going greater than 200, and away you go. But what happens if we want something a little bit more interesting? Because, okay, we're seeing attack powers over 200, but what we're really interested, for example, is the dinosaur name or the whole line, the whole row of information. So how would we do that? Well, you do like this. Go and you select all the columns that you want to highlight, and it's going to go here and apply to the whole range. And then instead of that, I'm going to put a custom formula in here. A custom formula is going to be linked to one row. So it was attack power, right? So equals, I'm going to go here, D1, and it's really important that we lock the column is, what was it, greater than 200. See, and we're going to make those ones purple for some reason. And there we go. And what it's done is highlighted all the ones, all the rows where the attack power is 200. Maybe we can just make it bold, and we can, there's no color there. it's just going to be bold or italic or straight through or whatever we want. Brown writing. Now you may have noticed that it also takes the headline, so we can just make a quick adjustment here and just start this in row 2 and this one in row 2. And that will mean that when we make the whole row, it's not going to mess up with our headline. So that's how we've done the first one. Highlight the whole row with the tag values over 200. Boom. Next one here, make just the dinosaur name in italics if the gestation period is less than 5 months. This is kind of a variation on what we just did. So instead of the whole row, we only want this row here to be formatted conditionally. So let's just highlight that, go into conditional formatting. You see that it's only applying to that range A1. And again, we can just make it straight from A2 because we don't want it to start messing with the headline. And again, there's all going to be in custom formulas. And basically, we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to choose another column's data. So as the gestation period is under 5 months, so we'll go into F column, so equals. Again, block that F, otherwise it's going to make mistakes for you. F is, what was it? Less than 5. And there you go. Only we said it was italics, I think, right? Okay, so there we go. Indominus Rex. I'm not sure if that's totally clear, but basically it's done what I said it would do. Indominus Rex, and if we go across to that, 1 month. Dreadnoughtus. Ooh, that sounds good. 3 months. Ankylodocus. Oh, that was one of my favorites as a kid. 2 months. So there you go. That's how you do it. Okay, next one, highlight. Each time the type is the same as the one immediately below it. So this is an interesting kind of problem because you can use this when your data is like nice and sorted. You can use this to find duplicates. Here, it's more of a kind of an academic exercise, but let's give it a go. Again, we're going to be using a custom formula. Format, conditional formatting. Choose the one we want. We're looking at type, so we're going to here again. We'll just change it to P2, and we're going to go custom formula. And again, we're just going to put a logical test in here to check whether whatever's going on in, for example, P2 is the same as the one below it in B3. And let's make those ones read. So let's check it out. Let's see if that's worked. Here we go. We're looking at it over here, and then we see that yes, in line 12. Okay, we've got Stereosauridea, and below it directly another one, Stereosauridea. Let's see if there's any more. Orthomolulu, and below it exactly the same. And here we go. So we can see every time this appears, it's showing exactly what is underneath it. Now we can make it just a little bit more advanced by adding in an additional one so that we will also catch what's going on here, if you like, just for a bit of fun. So then all we need to do is add another rule that's going to test whether the cell is the same as the one above it instead of the one below it. So let's just check that in as well. B2 is going to be the same as B1 this time. And now we've got 2 rules here that basically cover all of those situations. And let's check it out. So there, we've got highlighting both. So very interesting and kind of visually clear way that then you can use this in your data to, for example, find duplicates and stuff like that without relying on the kind of automated inbuilt functions that sometimes they just delete things without you going in and check, and then you can go in and decide what you want to do. So there you go. And we see, for example, large carnivore here, it's not highlighted because the one below it and above it are different. But if we put this here, straight away, we see it working very nice. Okay, so that one's done. And now next one, we're going to highlight all the dinosaurs where the height is above 10 and the average number. I think it's meant to be the average number of friends. It's 4 or more. Pretty easy, right? Let's just zoom out. Okay, so this one's nice and easy and basically a variation of the other ones that we've been doing. So we'll apply it to that range there. And again, here we're going to do a custom formula. This one, we need to stick in an extra little thing, which is and. So the and is that, what was that? That the height is above 10 and C2 is above 10. That's what I said, right? And the next one is that the average number of friends is 4 or more. The average number of friends is E2 is, and E2, which is the average number of friends, is greater or equal to 4. And there we go. And now it's highlighting. We can see, okay, Stegosaurus height is 15, average number of friends, 5. Gigantospinosaurus, 16, 4, and so on. So we can use this and to put as many conditions in a conditional format as we want. And again, you can mix up these and make it go across the whole line or do whatever you want with it. All right, next one. Highlight the shortest 5 dinosaurs. Okay, so how do we do this one? Okay, obviously we're looking at height here, but we want to just highlight this row, so let's try it. So what we're going to do is an interesting kind of custom formula in here, and we're going to go equals A2, right, because that's the starting one. It's greater greater or equal to large of, we're looking at height, aren't we? So C2C, and I think we said 5. Oh no, we're looking at height. Sorry, large should be small. Now, why is that not working? Okay, here's an interesting one. So why is it highlighting everything? Because I've made a mistake here, and I'm comparing A2, which of course is just a bunch of text. So what we really need to do is compare C2. And there we go. I don't know if you can read that. That's how the formula looks. So we're comparing C2. Comparing C2, is it smaller or equal to the smallest 5 out of this range here? For example, Drodosaurus, yes it is, it doesn't even have one there. And look what happens if, see there's Drodosaurus, there's no data, so what happens if we put in some data there and make it a large number? So 50, it's no longer one of the small ones. 1 it is, and Spinoraptor becomes it, 3, 4, so some of them are a bunch of ones that are smaller than that. So you can change this, and look what happens, because I've got here on this 2, and if I keep adding ones, it's going to switch. So it knows which are, there'll be some more ones or zeros in this list. Here's a good one. See, it's counting row 64 as well. So we should actually cut that out and just make it go to a number 63. So that was a good little find. And we can see that it's only interested now in the small ones and the smallest rows. Alrighty. So what's next? Show us our dinosaurs. Next one is highlight all the dinosaurs with the same number of friends as in the dino friendometer box below. So here we go for the dino friendometer, and we want to highlight the dinosaurs with that number of friends. Okay, fairly easy, right? Let's go into here, conditional formatting, let's get rid of that other one. And basically, what we're going to do here is just refer to a different cell outside. So is equal to, if we put is equal to, that's going to give, you know what, we put the formula there. Of course, if we just try and put, equal J17, which is the number of this dino, which is the cell reference for this dinometer, if we put J17, it's not going to work because this is then asking the question, is what's in A1 in column A the same as in J17? So that's not going to work. We need a custom formula. And the custom formula is going to be equals, change this into twos, E2 equals J, what that was? 17. And I'll lock both of those in place. So the average number of friends is meant to be, and then we're just going to put that in there. So make sure that E2, going down, Scotland at E2 is the same as J17, which is our dinometer box. And then voila, the average number of friends, everything with 2 friends is automatically highlighted. And this can be handy because, for example, if we want to change the friendometer to 5, then all those ones that had 2 friends are no longer highlighted, but Stegosauruses and maybe something else. Oh, 1, here's all the dino friend, all the ones with 1 friend. And there we go. So there you go. That's a little bit of an exploration of all kinds of some more kind of advanced and interesting techniques with conditional formatting. I hope that this has been kind of interesting for you, that you've learned something new, and I welcome any suggestions. If you've got any other tips, any other kind of more advanced uses for this, then hit me up. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.